Hello, listeners, and welcome back to Silence the Chatter. Today is going to be interesting because I'm going to require that you think. Think real deep. I'm a thinker, and I'm always trying to figure out the hows, the whys, have greater understanding, bring revelation. I think it's important that you understand everything that impacts you, the words, the etymology as they call it. I think it's important that you evaluate your life every day, because whatever didn't occur that you may have set a goal for yesterday, reevaluate it today. Figure out what your next steps are so that you can actually achieve some of your desires. But what I'm hoping today and looking for from you, my listeners, is an understanding to what it is that you perceive from this next question. Because a few years back, someone challenged me without even knowing it when they asked me, "Is the silence too loud?" And I thought to myself, wow, that is powerful. Is the silence too loud? And of course, my initial thoughts were no, because in the silence, you don't hear anything. But I had to pull myself outside of the natural realm and think about the silence, because the silence can speak very loud when you allow it to. In our everyday lives, you all know that the silence is not even given thought because it's so much noise everywhere. I mean, every day, from the time you rise until you go to sleep, the phones are going off, text messages are going off, the cars, the planes, the trains, the voices, footsteps, doors opening and closing, children playing outside, people arguing. It's always something. Voices in the office, voices by television. It's always something to distract you. You are receiving so much information in through the course of a day, from work, from family, from children. You are surrounded by an orbit of voices that are trying to get your attention. But when do you take time to silence the chatter? I mean, like, really, shut it all down. Many of us don't because we don't want to even hear the silence speak. I mean, for real, if we take time and listen to that inner voice, that sixth sense given of God, the Spirit, oh yeah, the Spirit will speak when we allow silence to step in. But we can't do that. Maybe we can't answer the phone. Maybe we can't be at every event. Maybe we can't do the requirements that are asked of us by our loved ones on any given day. But when you do take time to actually silence everything, oh yes, the Spirit will speak. It's an undeniable moment of truth. You can't tell yourself at that point that it's someone else's fault, that it was them, it was some other reason that prevented me from attaining my goal or completing what I started, challenging myself to do something different. You can't tell the silence that it was somebody else, because the silence puts you into a point of alignment where all you can deal with is you. It's not looking for you to blame somebody, to hold someone else accountable, because every day you are the captain of your ship. Yes, God has the authority and supreme being over our lives, but where you go, if you're not listening to the Spirit and you're not walking through that which is being led of you, you're making choices. You are driving the decisions of your life. I mean, for many of you, you may be solid in your spiritual walk. You may know every day that you are seeking God. and He is speaking to you and you are listening. But for most of us, that's not how we live our lives. We just don't. We get up and make a plan and we just do it. We just do it. So I'm asking that you begin to silence the chatter. Is the silence too loud? It can be. I mean, when you have to confront and deal with you and you cannot deny the truth, I mean, that's kind of hard. It's like a large pill to swallow. And many of you have probably done that when you say, you know what? I can't blame nobody but me. I mean, I tell myself all the time, I can't deal with nobody else's issues because I have too many of my own that I'm working through every day. I mean, I got to be real. I have baggage and it is heavy sometimes. And even though I've tried to clean my loads through various circumstances and encounters, sometimes the dirt can slip back in. And I have to deal with that because I allowed it. I have to deal with the fact if my house isn't in order, or if I haven't treated somebody right, or if I've made a choice that I'll realize later it wasn't the best choice. I have to deal with it, and I can't put a rug over it so that it's not seen. It's not like you can cover up, because whatever is in the dark, it will come to the light. I mean, think about it. We all want to be free. We all want to have peace, but yet we put handcuffs on our lives. We even enclose ourselves with these self-created cages and fences that really prevent anything from getting in or getting out. I am truly a person who believes in access. If you're not giving access, you're creating blockage. If you're creating blockage, you're limiting ability for people to reach you that can impart something into your life. If you're not letting people impart things to your life, that's saying that you think you got it all together and you know everything, when the truth is everybody has something they can offer to somebody else. And if you're in a situation where you're blocking that energy from getting to you, you're going to become stagnant. And we all know that anything that is stagnant, it begins to take on a foul smell. So while we're silencing the chatter and we're allowing the silence to speak to us, I'm going to ask you to evaluate that which is within you, that water that you bring. Think about it. We can talk about Maya Angelou, poets and different writers who they sort of encapsulize the truth metaphorically through their words. And my reference to that is because I was reading Why the Caged Bird Sings recently, and the metaphors that are contained within that writing is still very powerful today. I mean, we are seeking peace and happiness and security, but we're not there. We're not free because sometimes we've encaged ourselves. We need to be free in order to reach our full potential. I mean, we can't even complain about the water in our well if we've contaminated it. Think about that. I want you to challenge yourself this week to find a moment to silence the chatter. I want you to allow the silence to speak very loud in your life, because it's going to put you in a place where you're able to be redirected, to be reaffirmed, to have an opportunity to see something that you may not have seen before, to get you out of those situations that you've questioned. How do I get out of this? But take time to listen to the silence. And I do appreciate you taking time today to listen to Silence the Chatter. Let the silence speak. Until next time, be blessed. If you like what you're hearing, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for me. I want to be able to allow these words of encouragement and enlightenment to inspire you every day. May you be blessed. And until next time, ciao.